You know, there is a problem that needs to be dealt with, but the president needs to come to Congress. We couldn't even pass the DREAM Act with a Democrat-controlled Congress. Couldn't get the 60 votes in the Senate, and now we're basically doing exactly what the DREAM Act said by executive order. We've got a president. We don't have a king.
So earlier this morning, I spoke to Dr. Richard Land, and he's the president, as you know, of the Southern Baptist Convention. He says he supports it. He applauds the president for this. This is what he told me earlier. Listen.
The president's action complicates the politics, but it reduces the urgency because it does keep these young people from the fear of being deported. These are young people that are a national resource.
Do you think these are young people that are a national resource, as he does?
Listen, they're the innocent victims. They were brought across the border as youngsters against their will. In most cases, we've paid to educate them. In some cases, they've served in the military.
Not necessarily against their will, right? They went with their parents.
Well, they had no say in it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I do think it's a problem that needs to be dealt with. But there's a broad immigration problem that needs to be dealt with in public debate. We need to be talking about things like this DREAM Act, but we need to also be talking about E-Verify. We also need to be talking about broad border security. You get all of those together, you've got enough momentum, you might be able to come up with some comprehensive immigration reform. But if you pick them off one at a time and do it not through Congress but through executive order, you're just bypassing the way our founding fathers intended it to work.
But hasn't it been in Congress for a long time, right? 2001 originally introduced into Congress?
Well, there's a reason for that.
And then 2007 and 2010 twice, actually, right?
Right, and it hasn't been able to pass. And the Congress elected by the people, the people's representatives, have said no to this, and the president is saying yes to it against the will of the people.
No, he's saying yes to one provision of it, which focuses on those very young people that just a moment ago Richard Land called young people that are a national resource.
Well, you're also talking about people that came over at 16 years of age. I mean, at that point, you had a say in it, and that looks kind of more like amnesty. But you're looking at, 12 and under people. It certainly looks... I can understand that. We do a lot of casework out of my Brownsville, Texas office for folks with exactly this problem, and it is an issue that needs to be dealt with.
Do you think a 16-year-old whose parents are coming across the border has a say in whether or not they're just going to stay behind in their country? And let their parents
they're certainly in a position to have a conversation with their parents about it.
A 16-year-old is in a position to have a conversation with their parents about coming across the border, you think?
Believe me, my 16-year-old daughter has given me some input on everything that, pretty much everything the family wants to do.
Some people would say, listen, Congress just hasn't done the job that they should have been doing, right? I mean, if you list all the times that they've been looking into the DREAM Act, 2001, as I mentioned, 2010 as recent as that, yeah. There was a filibuster, it was killed, introduced again. 2011, when it was reintroduced into the Senate, Republicans who had supported it in the past actually decided not to support it this time around. It sounds like Congress has had a lot of time with this bill, and clearly it's a problem, as you started out saying.
Well, Soledad, one of the things Congress can do is say no. Our decisions are not necessarily always a yes. Sometimes when we look at the overall policy and law and everything associated with it, no is the right answer.